What's up, everybody? How's it going? Ryan Sanders here with Project Fresh. We are dialed in here and making some moves for Tuesday. Just got off a client orientation, so run a little bit late today. So apologies on that. I hope everybody is having a great Tuesday night. Just waiting for my Instagram to load up here. We got step 205 tonight. I'm excited to connect with you guys on for our 5 steps to elevating your lifestyle in 2021. And we're going to go ahead and make sure we're here on the Insta, on the IG. And once that's good to go, we'll get going. How's everybody's night so far? Hope you're doing well. Drop a message in the chat. Let me know how your week is going. Hope it's well. I see someone has come in and we're almost there. I guess I have what would be considered a dinosaur phone. It's actually just got too much memory on it. So that's why it is crawling here at the moment. We'll get it going. There we go. Live. And this can be my mic. Not really. All right, cool. So checking connection. Hopefully, for whatever reason, it won't cut out on me. All right, cool. Got my IG ready. All right, so what's up, Instagram family? I've got YouTube going and live. A little bit late this evening, but we'll still get into it before we close out the day. We've got step 2 of 5 set up here for Project Fresh on our 5 steps to elevating your lifestyle in 2021. So it posted online, which is excellent. That is good to see that is the case. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about execution. What's up, Coach Jim? How you doing, man? It's been a while. I hope you and your family are well. Happy holidays to you. We'll have to reconnect, by the way, Jim. It's been a while. But I'm talking about step number 2 tonight. Step number 2 is execute. It's practice, not perfection, in our 5 steps. Step number 1 last night, just a quick recap, was setting goals and game planning. So that's what number 1 and number 2 is. And I finished last night's live stream talking about how 1 transitions into 2. It's important to set goals, have that one goal that really scares you, kind of really stretches you. Maybe it takes longer than a year or 2 to really dig into, and then 1 or 2 other goals that you can tap into as well. And then how with game planning, creating the game plan for the lifestyle. Maybe you want to lose 25 pounds. Okay, well, we need to get fitness so we can get stronger. It's not just cardio. In fact, cardio by itself it may help you lose weight, but you may not get the process going as quickly as you'd like to. In fact, I saw a story on, we're also on TikTok, saw a guy talking about how he lost 75 pounds in the last year. And he started with just simply jump roping. Jump roping may not be easy for everyone because of the impact, but he just started learning jump roping, checking out tutorials online. And at a certain point in time, he started to lose weight, which was great. He's like, I wanted to accelerate the process. And here's the key word. I used strength training to do that, to help me accelerate weight loss, which is how it goes. If you change the composition of the body, you do so by building mass until you get to a point where you like how you look, you like how you feel, and you like how your body's performing. And as you build in that strength, your body will start to pick up. You'll start to notice yourself be stronger, move around quicker, have more energy. You'll have a lot of noticeable changes in the body overall. And it's a really cool feeling to experience that, especially if you're feeling sluggish, energy is low, et cetera, et cetera. This is relevant because it really plays into step number 2, which is execution. And the reason why I want to talk about practice, not perfection, is a lot of times, and I see it in my clients, I'll see it in myself even, battling those thoughts a lot, is this idea that everything has to be perfect, or that results have to come immediately for it to mean something's happening. Typically, when you shift, when you create a new plan, when you start exercising and moving, when you start to eat differently, it takes time, not only in seeing results, but also starting to address those habits. Because whatever you're doing before the shift were habits, right? It's not like sitting on the couch all day, or at the chair at work all day, or eating the certain foods you have weren't habits, right? those are habits. If you're used to them and you've been doing them for a period of time, it's things, it's activities, it's daily routines that your mind is wired and fired and is firing, I should say, for to lead you throughout your day on a regular basis. So it's good to keep that in mind. So it's about practicing. It's about practicing these new lifestyle habits. Getting 2 days of strength training in and 1 to 2 days of cardio training in. Looking at it from a weekly perspective, that pays huge dividends when you're getting started, especially if you're busy. You got a crazy busy schedule and you don't think you can get the time in for the exercise. Start small and build from that. 2 days of weight training, 1 to 2 days of cardio. Keep your workouts at around 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Even with cardio, you can do as low as 20 minutes. And I can guarantee you, especially if you get it in at a time where, let's say in the morning, you get it done before you go to work, it'll give you a nice little boost of energy. If you do it at the end of your day, it'll give you a nice way to do some stress relief, jump roping, boxing, punching a bag, kicking, anything that gets your body moving and gets that heart rate up. You'd be amazed at how much just punching the air can get that heart rate up. In fact, for the last 5 weeks, I've been part of my, well, majority of my cardio has been simply some boxing routines, literally jab, cross, uppercuts, hooks, different escapes, sweeps, shifting my stance, just very simple stuff like that. If you're familiar with boxing, nothing advanced by any means, but just very simply using boxing as cardio, I've been able to get my heart rate up pretty high, get some pretty good cardio, some pretty good calories burned effectively. I don't know, in the course of 30 minutes, 35 minutes, you can see 600 calories go or even more. Excuse excuse me, more at times, and it's very effective. So whatever your cardio source is, it doesn't have to be high impact. It doesn't have to be burpees or sprints or anything excessive like that. As long as it gets you going, gets the heart rate pumping, and you can do at least 20 minutes of it, that's very valuable. And effectively, too, again, in execution, if we're looking at the bigger picture, we want to have, if we're looking at weight loss, we want to make sure the calories in are a little higher than the calories out. And if you're looking for muscle gain, then you switch that. The calories uh, out, or excuse me, if I keep it in, well, I switched on you guys. We're swapping it. So calories in are a little lower. So I should say down here, calories in are a little lower than calories out. Yep. So deficit. And then if you want to switch it, you're gaining for muscle, then you want to have more calories in than calories out so that you can build the muscle, appropriate protein, et cetera, et cetera. That's more advanced than what we're talking about today. But effectively, the biggest thing is in the execution is practice. And I think if you get into a mindset of practice, where practice is, I'm looking to improve in said area, I'm looking to improve in my cardio today, I'm looking to improve in my weight training form today. All of it builds together, the mechanics of it. Like, for example, to be a good writer, you don't just sit down at your desk and start writing unless you're fantastic and natural at it. I don't know if you guys are. I'm definitely not. I write how I talk. And if you haven't noticed already, it's a series of run ons. It's like, Ryan, where's the punctuation, for crying out loud? Like, I laugh at myself. But unfortunately, that's how I write too. I write how I talk, period. Exclamation point, question mark. Okay, I'm being a little funny right here, but my wife is laughing at me too. So, all right. Anyway, so for me to get better at writing, I need to learn some punctuation. I need to learn how I can, let's see, organize my thoughts in a way that not only allows it to be more succinct, but also allows it to put together a solid point. Reduce the amount of words that I use to still get the point across, right? That's a skill. That's not something I'm naturally good at. That's something I had to learn, something I had to practice. Even today, I've won essay contest from working on this skill in the past in high school. I've been able to get decent grades in script writing and public speaking, thankfully, as scary as that can be. Now I do it all the time, which is, looking back, I'm grateful I took those classes and my engineering school made us take them because it's very valuable here. But there were skills in that I needed to learn and then develop so I could get better. So in the same sense of weight training, for example, before you even start picking up dumbbells, you need to make sure or put a bar across your back for on a weight rack. You want to make sure your mechanics for a squat are correct, because that could be your low back, your knees, your ankles. It could be your core, even potentially in a squat scenario, where you could do some damage to yourself if you don't have the right mechanics. Or you see, oh my gosh, CrossFit is a really tough one. If you're not using the proper mechanics in CrossFit, if you're not aware of what your threshold is in an exercise, if you do not know how to appropriately recover and recuperate your muscles, you're on a one-way train for pain, and it's not fun. And from what I've heard, a lot of people don't necessarily slow down for those WODs. They just get right to it and say, get it done as fast as possible. Don't spend a lot of time on the mechanics. And I run into a lot of people who've injured themselves from that kind of stuff. And I'm not trying to uh, knock CrossFit by any means. I think in essence, if you utilize it correctly, it's a great form of exercise. I'm speaking to the unfortunate side of it where it is not utilized well. It's kind of more of a hype mechanism, or I wouldn't say necessarily call it a fad, but anyway, it's just not, the mechanics of the body is not operated correctly. Whatever it is you're looking to do, mechanics, form, breathing, all very important before you even get into the context of how many reps or how much weight or how long you can go, even. Like if you're on a bike and you're riding for more than 30 minutes and you're pushing it, that can be really hard on your seat bones, on your tailbone. Like that starts to get to be uncomfortable. So if you don't know how to manage that, like that's something I was working on last year. If you're on a bike for 40 minutes, that's usually where it starts to kick in for me. My hands and my forearms start to get a little tired, shoulders get a little tired, trying to make the adjustments so that my sit bones aren't hurting. I had to figure out, like, okay, I guess I have to get the fancy shorts that have the padding in it, so it's not killing me as much. Get that down, learn that process, learn how to adjust as I'm pedaling, utilize different use. Well, most people lock in. I don't have lock in pedals, so I haven't gone that far. But there was a process. There was something I had to learn, the mechanics, the process of riding a bike, and didn't just jump on the bike and become proficient at it. There was a process I had to learn. So in execution, you want to use that practice to help you improve the process. Okay. So whatever that process may be, let's talk about food. What foods are going to help me and get what I need to get done efficiently? Help me lose the weight, help me build the muscle, help me improve my internal uh, blood chemistry, for example, my internal chemistry overall. Like, what is it that's going to help me in the process, help me feel better? What's up? What's up? How's it, everybody on Instagram saying, hey? I feel like every time I wave at somebody, they run away. They're like, oh, he saw me. I'm out. Anyway, what is going to help me improve the process? What's going to help me make it more simple? Not necessarily easy. Like right now, I am not emotionally or mentally motivated to eat how much I need to eat. And I put everything on my numbers today. It's like yesterday I was 1,000 calories under what would help me uh, not only maintain weight, but even allow myself to if I wanted to lose it, lose it. I think I'm between uh, building muscle and losing weight because I haven't made up my mind. And it's mostly because one day I'll see one thing and I'll want to go that way. Another day I'll see one thing and I want to go that way. It's like I know I can lose weight. I know I can build muscle mass and put the gains on. I haven't made the decision. Well, if I'm game planning, if I'm setting goals, there's a decision process that needs to be made. I need to make a decision. I need to sit down and say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on it. And it's interesting for me because certain parts of the year, as I get to learn myself and pay more attention to why I do the things that I do, earlier this year, without even thinking twice about it, I set my goals. I had a purpose and I got after it. I lost 22 pounds. I shaved it up. I got almost as, I wouldn't say as lean as I was in 20, what was that, 2014, when I was all the way down at 188. I was actually just looking at a photo of this. with my wife, I think yesterday, where I literally was at around 10% body fat and sitting at 188. I'm at 245 right now. So 6 years ago. So that goes to show you how much muscle, and there's some fat in there too. It's not all muscle, but how much I've put on in the last 6 years. You can do a lot once you learn the process and as you practice. But now I'm at a point where it's about making some decisions and then sticking to it. Building muscle is such a long-term game. It is well beyond motivation by any means. It is well beyond a 90-day program. Gains is a process, and that's what I'm working on currently. And so I'm really looking to dial that in. And perhaps I think it's the next season for me to become more proficient at it, so that I can in turn pass that on to those who I'll be coaching in the future. And whether it applies to lifting or eating or business or finances or relationships, there's application in it all. At the end of the day, the bottom line is what I want to impart to you guys today in step number 2 is the practice. If you're trying to be perfect, and trust me, I know how that goes because I am a perfectionist, you will set yourself up for failure really quick. You'll always be disappointed. It'll never be enough. And, speaking to the choir here, this one might be for me more than for you today, perhaps, because I just said I'm a perfectionist. But I'll tell you this: if you can take my words and apply them for you, if this is really ringing a bell, I think this will be valuable for you. And I'm speaking a little bit longer than 15 minutes because this step number 2 really does have quite a lot of impact to the process. It really does. I think this idea of I'm going to spend 5 days or even 30 days and then all of a sudden be a master at something does not work. That does not exist. You might have the advantage of your parents being proficient in it and you learning as a kid and growing up in that to give you some what do I say, some jump ahead or proficiency to be better at it, quicker at it. You might have some natural skills or leaning towards this particular area, whatever it is, in proficiency that helps you speed up the process. But ultimately, like that high school classmate who was excellent at volleyball, softball, soccer, football, basketball, track, they just were a national athlete. You knew if they didn't keep practicing, they were not going to get better. Like the natural talent was only going to take them so far. And that's true. Your natural talent is always going to take you only so far. It's the skill, it's the developing of the skills, I should say, the grit, the discipline, the hustle, the grind that's going to help you ultimately get better at it. So again, whether your goal is something as simple as losing weight, building muscle, building balance, eating better, and increasing the quality of your internal health, just feeling better in general, it's going to require some repetition. And we call that repetition practice. And it does not have to be perfect because all it requires is you showing up, doing the best you can for the day, taking a few notes so you remember what happened that day, and then putting it all together a number of days. And over time, it's going to get better. You're going to feel better. You're going to be appreciative of the hard work, and you will see the results. So step 1, set goals and game plan. Step 2, execute, practice, not perfection. Tomorrow is step number 3. We're going to be talking about the power of rest. A lot of times, especially when we get started, and I wanted to put this in our step 5 for this year round, especially with the challenge of the year that we've had, we get so excited and we do so much that we forget how important rest is. And we can burn out really quickly. So we'll be talking about the power of rest tomorrow, and it's not just sleeping. If you guys have been here long enough, you may know what I'm going to get into. Rest is multifaceted. There's a lot to rest. And the application of rest, the power of it is quite beautiful. It's actually a tool that you want to sharpen, just like anything else, like eating, fitness, your mental, emotional health, your relationship health, financial health. Rest is a tool that you can sharpen and make better and add it to this 5-step process for your success in 2021. All right, it looks like my Instagram was able to stay with me this whole period, which is nice. And YouTube is still going, so we're good. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a great evening. I'm going to run off here and spend the rest of my time with my wife. So I hope you guys have an excellent Tuesday evening. We'll see you tomorrow night, Wednesday at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Till then, stay cool. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a great morning tomorrow. All right. Peace out.